Namaste, welcome to our Vinyasa flow yoga practice. You may want to have a couple of blocks and a strap, anything else for your personal practice that you like to use. I'm actually going to invite you to start in hero's pose, where you set the knees in front of you and either sit directly on your calves or a block or two blocks stacked in between your ankles, which makes it easier on the knees. And then just make sure that your toes are pointed back, knees are close together, no wider than your hips distance. And allow a moment to mentally arrive in your practice. So we're now in the first week of the new year, 2025. And many people might be attacking their goals and to-do lists and New Year's resolutions, looking into the future. But today I invite you to look into the past for a moment with the feeling tone of appreciation. I invite you to reflect on what has gotten you where you are to who you are today. You might look at the past year, like where were you in January of 2024 at this time? Meaning, what state was your life in? Your spiritual practice, your sense of awareness of self, sense of connection. And then you might even take a moment to go further back, years past. And just take a moment to invite you to take a moment to appreciate your journey to now. Cultivating a sense of gratitude to what has shaped and evolved you into who you are today. The joys, the sorrows, the lessons. And I invite you to offer yourself a genuine gesture, whatever makes sense to you, of gratitude for the courage to take the journey to now, and for all that you have pursued for the sake of learning and growing. And from that space of gratitude, what are you inspired to move forward with? Knowing that this present moment sets the tone for the next present moment and the next. What are you cultivating here in this practice to equip you for the next step in your journey? I invite you to set an intention. And then thinking of those that you affect through your life, near and far, directly, indirectly. Think of someone you might like to extend support for their peace and their well-being by dedicating this practice to them. I invite you now to feel into your physical body and notice what it needs in this practice today. Gathering whatever sensations are speaking to you right now. Notice the state of your energy as you begin your asana practice by tuning into the breath just as it is. Feel into your mind and heart, sensing what's present for you right now mentally and emotionally. Acknowledging that with compassion, with truthfulness. Meeting ourselves right where we are. Let's start to deepen the breath. As you breathe in, invite your left and right walls of the rib cage to expand. And as you breathe out, maybe open the mouth and exhale any sound. A few more times, slowing the breath down, each new inhalation, exhalation. Setting the tone for mindfulness through the breath. Gathering our intentions and dedications together, let's join our voices in support of each other as we begin this practice by chanting the vibrational sound at the center of our Mother Earth, Om, 3 times. Let in a deep breath. Slowing the breath down. Let's begin to balance it in length, both in and out. Beginning to regulate our energy to invite balance, focus, calm through Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breathing, where we close the lips, softly narrow the back of the throat, and create a gentle, smooth, whispering sound to the breath, while taking your time to breathe in as slowly as you breathe out, setting a slow and steady rhythm that we're going to move our bodies to. So listening to your breath, press down through the tops of your feet. Let out this exhalation through the nose. And as you inhale, sweep your arms forward, lift your pelvis up to stand on your knees, press the hips gently forward, and backstroke your arms. And as you exhale, gently lower your pelvis to sit again, extend the arms forward. Let's try that 4 more cycles of breath. Inhale, rise up, press the hips forward, backstroke the arms. Exhale, have a seat, extend the arms forward. Inhale, rise, backstroke. Exhale, slow movements. So we're controlled. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Last breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. All right, and from here, come on down to your hands and knees and extend the right leg behind you. Step the right foot forward beside the right thumb. Make sure your legs are hips width apart. Untuck the back toes. Press down to your front foot and press your hands on the very top of your right thigh. Now, without moving your legs, bring the feeling as if you're dragging them towards each other. Keeping your hips equally facing forward, lift your frontal hip bones, lengthen your tailbone down, and lift your back ribs. Now broaden the chest as you breathe in, relax the shoulders, soften them back and down. And just gently sinking the pelvis, but lifting the navel towards your spine. Kneeling lunge or Anjaneyasana, 2 more breaths. So we're going to be bringing the hips into extension. You guessed it, opening up the fronts of the hips as well as lending that into back bends, opening up the heart space. Let's step back to all fours, hands and knees. Inhale, straighten the left leg back. Exhale, step the foot beside the left thumb. Make sure your legs are as wide apart as your hips. Press down with the left foot. Press your hands onto the top of your left thigh. Bring the feeling as if you're dragging your legs towards each other. Lift your frontal hip bones. Lengthen your tailbone down and square your hips to equally face forward. Breath by breath, letting the pelvis sink while drawing your navel in towards the spine and slightly up towards the heart, relaxing the shoulders, broaden your chest. And last 2 deep breaths. From here, tuck the back toes, step forward to the front of your mat, mountain pose. Let's set the feet hips width apart, parallel to each other, joining your hands in prayer at the heart in Padasana. Inviting the energy of your intention into how you move your body to your breath. As we honor the sun with gratitude, sun salutations, Surya Namaskar C. As you inhale, sweep your arms forward and overhead, rolling your shoulders back, lift your heart towards the sky. As you exhale, bow forward over your legs. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step your left knee behind you. Kneeling lunge, look up. As you hold your breath, step to plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, then chest, then chin, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward, drawing your shoulders back and down to cobra. Exhale, press up, lifting your hips back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Pressing down to your feet, inhale, rise. Gently back bending at the top, gently press the hips forward. Exhale, gather your palms in prayer at your heart center. Second side, inhale, sweep your arms overhead and lift your chest, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips, Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips on the earth. Inhale, step the right knee behind you. Anjaneyasana, look up. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Ashtangasana, exhale, lower knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slither forward to cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lift the hips back to downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step the right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee, gaze up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, step the left foot forward and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, recenter the palms in Padasana. Let's begin sun salutation A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. This time, press your fingertips on the ground, your shins or 2 blocks, and inhale as you lengthen your spine forward to half forward fold. Step to plank pose, firm the belly in, and exhale, glide forward, grazing your elbows by your ribs, passing through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let the body be still as you steady your gaze on one point for 2 cycles of breath. When you've emptied the second breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Pressing with your hands, inhale, lengthen to half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, again fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands in prayer in mountain pose. Once again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Either walk to plank or float lightly to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pausing here for 2 deep breaths. Then walk or float to the front of your mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, Uttanasana. Rooting down, inhale, rise to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join the hands in Padasana. Once more, Surya Namaskar A, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float, take your version of your Vinyasa. Pausing in Adho Mukha Svanasana for 2 cycles of breath to cultivate concentration, dharana. Once you've emptied the second breath, walk or float into Uttanasana. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana. Let's bring the feet together to touch, preparing for sun salutation B. On your next inhale, bend your knees together to touch. Sit low, leaning back towards your heels in chair pose, Utkatasana. As you exhale, shift your weight forward and hinge from your hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Flow through your Vinyasa at your pace of breath. When you arrive in downward facing dog, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, lightly step the foot forward beside your right thumb, spin the left heel down. Inhale, rise up to Warrior One. Ride your exhale all the way down into your Vinyasa. When you arrive in downward dog, second side, inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale the foot quietly forward beside the left thumb, drop the right heel. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Ride the exhalation all the way down into your Vinyasa. This time, let's pause in downward dog for 3 to 5 breaths, slowing down your breathing and smoothing it out while you observe how your body is responding. Making sure that you are using your discernment and slowing down or resting anytime you might need. If your breath sounds smoother and steadier again, empty it before you walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Feet together, inhale, lengthen to half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees together. Inhale, sit back into chair pose. Exhale, rise up, mountain pose. One more time, Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or flow into your Vinyasa. From downward, inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step the foot quietly beside your right thumb. Drop the back heel. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, lower into your Vinyasa. Side two. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, the foot beside your left thumb. Drop the right heel. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, lower into your Vinyasa. Downward dog, 3 to 5 breaths. Notice the quality of your energy right now by noticing your breathing. By regulating your breath to slow down, rebalance, smoothen out. Help to regulate your energy. When you're ready, empty the breath before you walk or lightly jump. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Padasana. Let's set the feet apart, hips distance, parallel, and bring the hands behind you to clasp or hold a strap between your hands, opening up the fronts of the shoulders. As you breathe in, draw the shoulders back and down. As you breathe out, shift your weight forward and hinge from your hips. Invite your spine to lengthen, your neck to relax. If your back starts to round, bend your knees to eliminate that. You might shake and nod your head, flutter the lips to relax the jaw. And as you're stretching the arms further away from your lower back, slightly bend your elbows to lift the shoulders and create more space in your neck. Couple more breaths. Notice how your energy feels now. Choose how you'll help to balance it. Either take another vinyasa, cat-cow, child's pose, or meet us directly in downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Spread the fingers flat on the mat. Rotate your outer upper arms towards the earth. Lift the shoulders and hips back, firming the tops of your thighs back, root the heels downward. With the belly firming in towards the spine, press your chest back towards the shins. Now listen to your breathing. Inhale, sweep the right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and turn out the right thigh at the hip. Staying here. Inhale, draw your left hip further back. And as you exhale, quietly step the right foot forward beside your right thumb into a high lunge. Then inhale, rise to crescent pose. Let your eyes land on one point to help you to focus. Rotate your left outer hip to face forward as much as the right. You could bend the left knee if that helps. Draw your tailbone downward as you slightly lift your frontal hip bones. Last 2 breaths. On an exhale, turn to your left into warrior two, aligning your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Bend your right knee just above the heel, but not past it. And firm the outside edge of your left foot into the earth. Last 2 deep breaths. Virabhadrasana 2. Now let's straighten the legs for triangle. You might shorten your stance a couple of inches. Glide your hips sideways towards your rear wall and lengthen your torso towards your front wall. Lightly place the right fingertips on your right shin or just to the right of it, maybe on a block. Keep wrapping the right outer hip beneath your body and tack the crease of your right hip back towards your left outer heel. While you lengthen the crown of your head forward, soften both shoulders down your back. Spinning your chest slightly to face the sky, land your gaze on one point and listen to the quality of your breathing, informing you of the quality of the energy in which you are holding yourself in this situation or pose. Gaze at the ground ahead of your right foot. Begin to shift forward into half moon pose. Crawl your right fingertips about 6 inches ahead of your right pinky toe out to the right corner and drag the left foot forward, flexing it off the ground, recreating the shape of triangle or bringing the left hip into extension by bending the left knee towards your belly, catching the top of the left foot with the left hand, and then kicking the foot back as you pull it towards your glute, Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Steady gaze, steady breath, steady body, steady mind. With a slow exhalation, step back the left foot and come into reverse triangle with legs straight. Flip the right palm to face up and side bend towards your rear wall. On an exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground and plank. Choose to flow through a vinyasa or cat-cow, or step directly into downward facing dog. Pausing in downward dog, observe what you're experiencing in your body, in your mind. Listen to your breath. On an inhale, sweep your left leg behind you. As you exhale, bend the knee and turn out your left thigh at the hip. Breathing in, tack the right outer hip back. Breathing out, slowly step the left foot forward beside your left thumb. Slow and controlled movements. Stay on the ball of your right foot. Then inhale, rise to crescent pose. Turning both hips to face forward. Slightly lift your frontal hip bones. Let your eyes land while relaxing your eyes. Last 2 deep breaths. Turn to your right, warrior two. Align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot. Rotating your left outer hip beneath you. Firm the top of your right thigh bone back. Gazing gently and steadily just past your left hand. Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten your legs for triangle. You might shorten your stance a couple of inches. Glide your hips sideways towards your rear wall and lengthen your torso towards the front wall, lightly placing the left fingertips on your left shin or just to the left of it, maybe on a block. Land your gaze and help to focus your mind. Gaze at the ground ahead of your left toes and crawl the left fingertips upper left corner of your left foot, flexing your right foot off the ground. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Or if you did so on the first side, Ardha Chandra Chapasana, bending the right knee, catching the top of the foot and kicking it back as you pull it towards you. With an exhale, gently land your right foot towards the rear of your mat. Keep the legs straight and flip the left palm to face up. Side bending towards your rear wall. Reverse triangle pose. On an exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor. Choose to flow, rest, or be still. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Notice what's here now. What are you experiencing in your mind, in your body, in your energy? Notice how your moment by moment attention in this practice has brought you to this present point, the quality of this moment. Inhale, sweep your right leg back. This time, exhale, cross the right knee to touch your outer left upper arm, twisting in plank. Inhale, sweep the right leg back. Exhale, tap the knee outside your right armpit in plank. Inhale, sweep the right leg back. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and round in plank. Softly step the foot beside the right thumb and inhale to crescent lunge again. This time, let's prepare to twist. Cup the top of the right thigh with your right hand and inhale as you lengthen your spine forward. Exhale as you twist to the right, either lowering the left fingertips on the ground or a block under the left shoulder and raising the right arm, or hooking the left elbow outside of your right thigh, joining your hands in prayer, spreading the arms, or binding. For a variation of twisting, side angle pose, Parita Parshvakonasana. Tune into your breath, steady your gaze. Now gaze at the floor ahead of your right toes, crawl the fingertips ahead, and lift the left leg, bow in, standing splits. Try to keep your hips leveled on both sides. You could wrap an arm or two around your right calf if you want to further explore your balance. Gently step back into Warrior One. And from Warrior One, backstroke your arms, clasping your hands behind you. Keep your hips squared forward and inhale, coil your chest up. Exhale, start to bow forward, either resting on your front thigh or releasing the head to the inner ankle as you stretch the arms forward. Square your hips to face the front of your mat. Last 2 breaths. Inhale, slowly rise up, back to warrior one. And this time, start to join your hands in prayer. Shift all your weight onto your right foot. Bend the left knee to hug the right knee, standing on one leg. Dancer pose. Place the right hand on your right hip and backstroke your left arm to catch the inner side of your left ankle or foot. Draw the tailbone down, turn both hips to equally face forward, and press into the ground as you kick the left foot back while pulling it towards you. Coiling your chest up, extend the right arm up, and let your heart extend forward. Standing bow or dancer pose, Natarajasana. How's your breathing here? On a slow exhalation, gently step the left foot back in warrior one. Pause for an in-breath. Choose to flow or be still. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Couple deep breaths. Notice what you notice. Then inhale, sweep the left leg behind you. Exhale, cross the knee to tap the right tricep in plank. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, tap your outer left upper arm in plank. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose, rounding in plank. Step the foot beside the left thumb. Crescent lunge, rising up. Let's prepare to twist. Cup the top of your left thigh with your left hand to root down as you inhale to lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, begin to twist if you can in the same way you enter the twist on your first side. Parita Parshvakonasana. Let your eyes land. 4 more deep breaths. Look at the ground ahead of your left toes. Place your fingertips there and lift the right leg as you bow in standing splits. Try to square your hips here. Gently step into warrior one. Back heel to the floor, hips facing forward. Find your connection to the earth and your breath. Backstroke your arms. Maybe switch the interlacing of thumb and index fingers on top. Rolling the shoulders back, breathe in. Exhale, start to fold in. Devotional or humble warrior. Inhale, slowly rise up and join your hands in prayer at the heart. Begin to shift all your weight onto your left foot, rising to stand on one leg. Bend the right knee to hug the left. Backstroke your right arm to catch the inner side of your right ankle or foot. Anchor your tailbone down. Bring the left hand to the left hip. As you kick back to your right foot, pull it towards you and coil your chest up. Lifting the left arm, keep your hips squared forward as you slowly tilt the torso forward. Standing bow. Dancer pose. Natarajasana. Last few breaths. Slowly step back into Warrior One. Take your choice of Vinyasa or meet us in Child's Pose when you're ready. Notice your energy right now. As we cultivate loving awareness in this present moment, we color the experience of the next moment. Start to roll yourself up. I invite you now to choose either dolphin pose or headstand as your active inversion. Dolphin pose, extend the arms forward, wrap the triceps down, interlace the fingers, and press your elbows and forearms into the ground so that your elbows are exactly shoulders width apart. Tuck your toes, lift the hips, and you're in it for 5 to 10 breaths before Child's Pose. Only practice headstand, Salamba, Shirshasana, if you normally practice it and you are free of any neck injuries. Let's meet in Child's Pose when you're done. Notice the breath in and take your time as you lengthen the breath out, rebalancing your energy by rebalancing and lengthening your breath. Keep listening to that as you roll up to stand on your knees for our final few back bends, starting with 3 cycles of camel pose. So come up to stand, and for the first one, I'm going to invite you to use as much support as possible so that as you might feel warmer, you can shed any of the support as you move to the next. So let's grab a block, either by the skinniest or the medium width. Hug it firmly between your thighs so that your knees can be spaced apart as close to your hips distance as possible. Tuck your toes behind you. Backstroke your arms and place your hands on your lower back. Press your hips gently forward and keep them right above your knees the whole posture. Notice your breath. Draw your tailbone actively down towards the space between your knees. Lift the back ribs and intentionally lengthen your lower spine. Picture the area just beneath your shoulder blades. That's where you want to create most of the back bend. As you inhale, lift your heart and roll the shoulders behind you and down. By hugging your elbows closer together, help to broaden your chest. You're in it, camel pose, Ustrasana. Give yourself a total of 5 to 10 breaths before you lower to a comfortable seated pose, maybe supported hero. If you find it easeful enough to lower one hand to hold the heel behind it, switch hands, switch heels, or hold both. You can go as far as that. Place your hands on your lower back when you're ready to come up to support lifting the spine. And you might want to sit on the block between the ankles as you pause to observe the effects of that asana. Round 2 of 3 camel poses. Choose to tuck the toes, or if you reached your heels pretty easily and want to go deeper, untuck the toes. Hug the block. It gives more stability, support for the lower back if you need it, or shed the block. When you're ready, Take it on your own and stay for 5 to 10 deep breaths. Pause to rest for a couple of breaths before your last round on your own. Let's make our way onto our backs. Take a block with you and bend your knees. Step your feet on the ground and lift your hips, placing the block by any of the 3 levels underneath your sacrum, the flat part of your lower back. Supported bridge, option to stay here, or deepen the extension of your hips by bending one knee towards your chest and taking hold of that leg as you straighten the opposite leg, heel to the floor, flexing the foot of your straight leg while pressing the instep of that foot forward. Make sure that your shoulders are relaxed on the ground. Chin is slightly tilted back so that you can breathe well. Then after a few breaths of one leg, switch legs on your own. And when you're done with both sides, if you're taking that version, then lift the legs both straight up and let's come into supported shoulder stand for just a few last breaths. A cooling inversion. Gently set your feet on the ground, lifting your hips. Please remove the block and gently lower your back. Turn over to one side and press yourself up to sit for a seated spinal twist. Extend your left leg forward and step the right foot in front of your right hip or crossed outside of your left knee, in which you might also bend the left knee. Choose the setup that allows you to sit tall comfortably with your 2 sitting bones grounded. Place the right hand behind you and raise the left arm, root down to your lower body, and inhale, rise taller through your spine. Exhale, twist to the right, little by little, lower your left arm to hold your top leg, or hook your elbow outside of that thigh. On an exhale, unwind your spine, and let's switch sides, setting up similarly, if you can, left foot in front of left hip, or crossed outside of right knee, or also bend the right knee. Place the left hand behind your back, raise the right arm, breathe in, root down to rise. Breathe out, stabilize the pelvis as you twist at the waist. Lower your right arm, maybe hook the elbow outside of the thigh. Then exhale to unwind for Baddha Konasana. Bend your knees apart, bring the soles of your feet together, bound ankle pose. Bring the heels in as close to your glutes as possible, root down through the sitting bones, lift the heart, Relax the shoulders and little by little hinge forward from your hips, keeping your throat open. Slowly breathe in to rise up and straighten both legs for Paschimottanasana. You might use a strap around the balls of your feet as an extension of your arms to prevent rounding the shoulders back if that tends to happen for you. Flex your feet, press the insteps forward, and root your sitting bones down. Breathe in as you lengthen your spine from the hips, and breathe out as you hinge forward from the hips, breath by breath. If you can reach hold of your big toes without rounding the back, feel free to clasp them with your index and middle fingers. Then pressing down with your pelvis, breathe in to slowly rise. I invite you to find a comfortable position of corpse pose so that we can practice a pranayama lying down. Let your feet splay apart. You might shake out the legs so you can completely relax your legs and feet and pelvis. Turn the palms up by your sides if that helps you to relax the shoulders down. Close the eyes. Invite you into a simple box breathing or Samavriti pranayama, which helps to regulate the nervous system to calm. This is a useful technique to practice anytime you need to de-stress, anytime you feel triggered or overwhelmed and need to find a calmer space in your mind. It's done by closing your lips and breathing very gently. Inhaling for a count of 4, holding the breath while relaxing for a count of 4, exhaling a count of 4, and holding the breath while relaxing a count of 4. That's one cycle. Let's practice 3 cycles of Samavriti pranayama together and then continue 3 cycles on your own before letting go of controlling the breath and noticing what you feel. Empty this breath to prepare. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Second cycle, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Third cycle, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. When you're ready, let go of controlling your breath. Observe anything you feel and relax into Shavasana. Notice how your physical body feels right now. And listen to how it wants you to start to wake up. Ease into gentle movements, simple stretches, maybe keeping your eyes closed, before gradually turning over onto your right side to rest your head. Pausing there, observe your breathing. Notice how your energy feels now. Then take your time lifting your body up. Please find a comfortable way to sit for our 5 minutes sitting in meditation. You might keep your eyes closed, maybe place your hands in Gyan Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching, palms face up, to help tune inward. You might begin by resting your awareness very gently on the feeling of the breath, rising and falling. Notice how your mind and heart feel now. Sense the effects of your practice. And so as you're moving forward in the new year, in what ways can you bring an appreciation for what got you here? Integrating acknowledgement as you move forward. As we close this practice, I invite you to choose somebody that you might acknowledge with gratitude, somebody who has been a teacher on your spiritual path or has supported your growth and learning. And then come back to your intention. And remember to whom you dedicated this practice. And together, as we close by chanting Om, let the resonance of your voice spread the vibration we've co-created through this practice together. Let in a deep breath. Bowing in to honor the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.